Hello! Hello and welcome. Can I get the game to show up? There we go. Easy as pie. So welcome back to this mess. Mess being a lot of things here. Like how it's almost 9 p.m. and I don't have a place to stay. Wait, isn't this supposed to be open? Didn't I press that button?
Race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
So never at the universe.
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma. Mr. Claire is a man of vision and means.
Yeah, we've seen this already.
Ramp off. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened.
Load. I don't feel like dealing with this fucker and his race science again. I could have sworn that after talking with what's his fuck, I had the button pressed.
Your race descent. The man looks at you, silent and unmoving. His eyes burrow into the remnants of your soul. You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you. Even the phrenically impaired can see this.
Okay. So I have no idea where to go or what to do at this point. Like, I am completely just bamboozled, baffled.
Looking for something?
You've been giving me the runaround. Fess up, where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
First, you knew Slang didn't do it.
He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the tip.
He grins, a wide smile. Just tell me which one's her lorry.
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Evangel West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
So who does? You?
No. He means La Puta Madre.
The name resounds like a bell in the air. A dark gong. You get a bad feeling about it. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Cross your arms and nod.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
Say nothing.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, Then it's a good pianist job to find out who that is. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
He tries to light a fresh cigarette, but his hands are shaking now. The sentence simply ends.
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it. It won't be easy to break him.
Easy, huh? 42% easy?
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
Show me her lorry right fucking now. The lady driver's lorry. Where is it?
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Shit. I don't know. What's your name, fuckhead? I'm gonna go on Police Radio saying this guy told Madre to fuck off.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Where exactly is her lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Okay.
This green found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers.
Try the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no pick in this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
How are we gonna get this open, Cam?
Let's get the pry bar from my kinema and smash in the window.
Good
I don't know
idea.
how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
Okay. Now that bot seller has been banned, we can get back to the game.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft globe. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks in. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think, useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook.
Okay. So now we have a pry bar.
This screen found, A to Z, Contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. This screen found, A to Z, Contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
Why is it so low? It's a pry bar. You just smash it.
Pry bar in hand, you take a hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out and the pry bar bounces back, leaving a tiny spider web on the glass.
The window appears shatterproof.
No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that.
He takes the pry bar from you and gestures for you to step back, then with little
He
warning.
smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement. You can just reach in now.
Nice.
It went better than I expected. Open it from the inside.
Open the door.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
Examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV.
Of course.
Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is here?
The ghostly actresses and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat and the oddly bulging seat cover.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver's glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Sandpaper would also rub off a pattern on the driver's right sole boot.
Yes?
He likes where this is going.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
The footprints from the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Women. Always up to something. And she's the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go.
He writes something in his little blue notebook.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. But there's something strange about the passenger seat. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and the pull-out toolbox lies hidden under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Peel off the cover on the passenger seat.
Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
The lieutenant commends you with a shift through the treasure. As you shift through treasure, well worn and folded into neat squares. Fold open the topmost map.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. High above the massive brown and red roofs, that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Where does the road lead?
To Kuro, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road.
Fold open the second map.
This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. No storm will ever drown Revachol, the great solution to the riddle of history.
Look at the third map.
The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain, and a traffic island in central Jamrock, by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway.
What does all this mean?
It means that the smugglers are secretly using the motorway to transport their goods and materials. They've infiltrated East Motor Tract, most likely. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them.
Where does the contraband end up?
Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the besmerti behind it.
Oops. Forgot to silence my phone. Who do you think is behind this?
It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Return the stack of papers under the seat.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick these up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use.
Pull out the pull-out toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the newspaper.
It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Yayhem frequency system.
The Yayhem frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
Pushing the pull-out
Pull-out
toolbox.
toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, dust on the windows.
Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Stop and wonder, what's that smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably grenade number 5.
Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera.
Sorry, I'm trying to crack my spine. Just while I'm making funny faces. Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rare actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Close the door.
Close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Cam?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. I'm not sure what the Yayhem frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info.
How do you think this is connected to the Union?
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Everard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
In short, this is a future angle. Possibly a good one.
Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all of this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Maybe the trader is some sort of cinephile.
Yes, well,
He doesn't say more.
Unimportant.
Okay, debrief over?
debrief over. After you.
Okay. So we're heading back to What's-Her-Face to report on the crime. Hopefully she'll give me money.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
What was that about, a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing land, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
Tell me again, how are the lynching and strike connected?
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also
Damn.
have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
Okay. Fair.
Nothing.
What then?
Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
Oh.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
I have to say, this is not disco.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She grabs hold of the mainsail.
if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath.
Isn't that a pretty bleak scenario you're describing?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
What can you tell me about Krenel?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients: Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Don't like that. Okay, anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources.
She thinks.
If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP now?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel.
Could you contact the company? Tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
And who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the Colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel?
This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
This Lely, anything else? Nationality? How old would you say he was?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed, this matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining 2 mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Where are these mercenaries?
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
One must be the goon in the ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the scab leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a border keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Yes, God forbid.
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
Could afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel.
She nods towards the sloop's cabin. I had another question for you.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There's a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
That's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Wait, did not tell her about investigation. I did tell her about investigation. Can I have some money?
Voila, you're doing it.
Whew. Whew boy. Help me, I'm poor. I need money to keep living.
Ah, yes, of course. I'm sad to hear that. How much do you need?
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's letting on?
I need 130 real.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
She reaches into her raincoat and pulls out a zip bag. You see paper notes arranged like black gills.
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
Hell yeah!
There must be about 200 real in that zip bag. Maybe a little less. Plus some change at the bottom. Whoa, whoa! Did you see how easy that was? Ask her for more. Toot toot, train to Moneytown.
Nay, 'twould be dishonorable, and mine honor is my life.
Can you eat honor? Are you an omnivore? Give me a break.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
I'm an honorable policeman, one of the few good men in Revachol.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they're properly logged with a precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
By the way, I've talked to Everett Clare.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
It's not important if I liked him. I was just doing my job.
Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
The RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Did he ask me to deliver an envelope? Shit, I don't remember that. Just... He asked me to open a door.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that.
No, like a real door to someone's house.
Oh my. A real door.
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
It was nothing.
Of course. The RCM has the right to inspect any premises. How else would you catch the bad guys? The information was useful, I hope.
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal, and it was not for nothing.
He turns to you.
I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
That's all I've got to say for now.
Actually, Detective, there are lighter topics to gossip about.
I'd rather talk about something else now, if you don't mind.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
I have a photo of the victim's tattoos.
She reaches for the photo, takes it, then holds it in her hand. For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigger not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet. Observe the woman's expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to she points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Preto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Preto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
She points to his heart.
Revachol.
What is that?
Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Inter-Islary Age.
Of course, of course.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
This one has flown quite far by now.
I would say he's near the Arcade Islands by now, ready to exit the Insulindian and into the Pale, if I've read his home address correctly.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend, and comrade.
You're right. Not a good idea.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security.
That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Thank you. That's all for now.
Finger pistols, 9mm. Snap, snap, baby. Turns out guns aren't that much for protecting as they are for attacking people. If you want to protect people, really work for them, you have to whip out your signature dual 9mm Villiers finger pistols. Who needs real guns anyway? That conversation you just had, it would have gone better had you snapped those bad boys at them. Note, 9mm dual finger pistols do not count for an actual weapon in a gunfight.
Okay.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for the damages yet.
You should take care of that, then.
I think I have the money now. This is money, right?
I'll also take a room at the Whirling. One cannot get much closer to the crime scene.
He's proud of you for getting your act together and finding a way to pay back what you owe.
Okay.
Can I help you?
So about that money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
Have your money.
Well?
Here it is. Sorry for the trouble.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow.
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you're not angry with him.
I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
He opens his wallet.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Goodbye. I can talk to you. It's all about money, you know?
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
An hour?
Sweet Lord, a whole hour. And you haven't thought about rum and lemonade in all that time? You've truly extinguished all trace of yourself.
Actually, should I be thinking about this? Looks like drinking hasn't turned out too well for me.
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade to yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that stain off the counter.
Don't lick it.
What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your boring normal person drink then. Get your drink on and your act together. The worker is in a deep slumber. Perhaps he's on his way to where you just came from, into the primordial darkness.
Sneezy peasy.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
How do you think today went?
Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. Our inspection could have been more thorough, as it always can, but we have some leads we can follow up on. In addition, we got that body down from the tree, and we performed the field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. I still feel like we missed something, but it's up to the boys in processing now. We did perform a thorough search of the crime scene. That's great. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean.
The initial interviews? Yes, well, we talked to some people.
Including Evrard Claire, a daunting adversary, if there ever was one. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however.
He's a tough cookie, that one.
We interviewed Joyce Messier, the Wild Man's rep, and learned a lot. None of it very good news for us, or Martinez, but
He gives you a quick nod of acknowledgement and approval.
above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I don't like to waste time, you know? My mind moves fast, the rest has to try to keep up.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age, and in those hills.
He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on a cigarette.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks over your snakeskin shoes and smiles. So what are our powers exactly, the RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebel Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
1,000? Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Rebel.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
Okay, what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
Wait, how can you be sure the arrestee will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
I see, and if someone resists?
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couvon and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
He taps on his coat pocket where he keeps his notes. Who makes all these rules?
The coalition government and the moral intern, more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
His gaze is absently fixed on the window below that just went dark.
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
I'd say it was the citizens of Revachol.
Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
The moral intern, what is that?
The Moralists International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
If I didn't know, how would you describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
Better not to ask.
The lieutenant breathes out a chestnut-scented cloud of cigarette smoke and looks at the city he's sworn to guard.
What is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something ominous. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
I have an opinion on the moral... no, what do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Who was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
I don't know if I agree with any of these. We're stooges of the world's biggest bourgeoisie organization, protecting bourgeoisie rights.
No. We are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization, protecting the people of Revachol. That's the hand we were dealt. Without the MI, we would be common vigilantes.
Yeah, vigilantes sound bad.
Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
Say nothing, just look into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
He pulls on the cigarette. Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts.
And the Jamrock and the GRIH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
I'm so sleepy. I hope our investigation will help to improve the situation here. At least do some good.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
Sure does. How did you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
He flicks the ash.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit below it all.
Right then, the debrief.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful day.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
He puts out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. Okay. Shit, where should I put my fucking point in? Love that dog sound. What a well-trained animal. Um... Shit, I'm just gonna hold on to it.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor.
Really? Nothing?
Really, all recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was a deluge of world-ending proportions.
Wipe the mirror.
As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
I don't care. Wipe the mirror.
Behold.
Oh, I have a face now.
You have no idea who this thing is, do you?
It's the face of a late-stage alcoholic.
Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
I have no idea why it's there. It just is.
Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself.
Okay. Try to stop.
Oh my God. You can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
Insinuating that I'm vaguely sympathetic. I think I'm sort of pulling it off too. In a sad has-been kind of way. There's some charm to it.
There might have been 10 years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
Let the mirror be for now.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Hold on.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And
Okay.
Sleep does. And
What?
then sleep doesn't come.
I want to sleep.
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Roll over to the other side.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him? Who?
Something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. Fall asleep now.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Oh.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
I was born in a hospital where people usually go to die.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember shit. Tell me, do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said, who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me.
Hey, this is too real.
You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The pale and the useless. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do. Even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots of the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
My mind is tired and broken.
Your mind is what now? I can't hear you. The rest is just a word dream. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
What? No.
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Okay.
Good going, buddy.
Is that how it's going to be now when I close my eyes?
Yes. Wait till you see the one with the chick in it. It's gonna be a good one. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What the hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed.
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half the town won't be dead.
Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
That shit is all too relatable. 'Cause lately I've been super fucking tired all the time. And also have depression. So basically everything said there was like at me. Which is cool and fun.
Morning.
Gives you a quick nod.
I've got some good news. I took care of the body. The thought of him decomposing in my MC wouldn't let me sleep.
Good, thanks.
I'm just glad he's gone. We have other matters to attend to.
Oh well, we'll get the armored boots in another lifetime.
The Union muscle finally turned up, and they look rowdy. We need to talk to them.
What do you mean rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast. I have no doubt these are the Hardy Boys Evrard told us about. The ones who keep the peace around here. And the big one must be Hardy himself.
Are these the men Gart told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it.
Let's roll.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
See, the thing is, I don't know what else to do.
Just a moment.
The old woman turns back to the cafeteria manager.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
The cafeteria manager appears genuinely apologetic.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway.
Good day,
I'm glad to
ma'am.
see you again, dear.
Oh, good day, ma'am. Everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
Hello! Welcome, thank you for the raid! Let's get you a proper shout out. Oh man, more Far Cry! Hell yeah! It's good shit. Hope you're enjoying it. I'm here in Disco Town, trying to solve a murder, and it's going bad. I'm real bad at being a cop.
The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Wait, what's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
Why do you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Uh-oh.
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
Kale Bite, has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
She glances out the window towards the bay. What is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect.
Bug science.
But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
Who
The water
knows?
That was broken. Could this be it?
Who's this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that.
She smiles.
Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
The water lock on the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the water lock?
Probably just some technical problem.
Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect. Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're here, when or if I get there.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
Okay. That's all for now, ma'am. Alright. Do we talk to the Union boys? It's a bowl, there's spit in it, reeking of tobacco.
Over here.
She snaps her fingers.
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
You're not a gardener?
That's right. I'm not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
It feels like she's waiting for a reaction of some sort. I mean no trouble, I'm just here to do my job, that's all.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
She points to a man standing in the middle of the room.
That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What's your role in all this?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
What if I want to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers. We've talked to Everard Clare. We know who these men are. The Union's militant wing.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's ask those questions.
Let's.
I should talk to Titus then. Hey, guy.
Where you say your bed.
Broad-shouldered man points to you with a beer can.
Detective.
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. We need to talk about the hanged man out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that won't.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
Rude.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
Scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s. And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
What the fuck is a plectrum? Where?
On his neck. Forget it. It's not important.
And the little guy?
Size 41. With the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46. Deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220.
Okay.
In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
One of them is absent. The odd soul.
Exactly. The missing lady driver who was running the drug trade. Does it mean the Hardy Boys are involved in the drug trade as well?
This would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make assumptions.
Maybe. But hey, you've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Now is a good time to hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Found 8 sets of footprints, but only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here.
He sizes you up.
Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy? We ain't hiring.
He shakes his head.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire. He really respects her. She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. End.
He points at the lieutenant.
You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
Hangman in the backyard. Did you do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yes, why?
Because we took it from the harbor where we worked. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
But there's a catch.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out alive.
He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Kohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade, right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hired merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Right, but what did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
Fucked up? Okay.
There's a slight unease in him, suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information.
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. He got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, this is some messed up stuff going on. This is some dark shit. But this is the only way to progress through the murder investigation. And hey, at least the person who did the fucked up shit is dead. So that's something.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking listening?
Right. Who did he assault then? It's a serious allegation.
No, you're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
Nope.
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied. Can you explain that?
The lieutenant goes in for the leg sweep. Titus does not see it coming.
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, Capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clapped him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Things aren't quite right here, are they?
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way.
All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under pressure.
Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Mr. Tats, what did you use to knock the victim out?
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
Where did all this action take place?
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Yeah, man. Weren't you listening?
Right, I have other questions about the lynching.
Like what, Copper?
You murdered him just like that? No remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
What we do is different. We enforce the law. You kill people like it's nothing.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
Why don't I just arrest you?
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
His mean little eyes come alive with hatred.
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you. While the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve, there's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
Easy now, let's just talk.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now make another one and get the fuck out of our booth.
Oh, hello!
I'm gonna do this again.
Hello, hello, hello! Welcome! Thank you for the raid! Let me get you a shout out. Oh, hey! Fellow Disco Elysium buddy! Hope your game's going better than mine is, because I am clueless. Oh, I actually just finished my first day a second ago. It is sure something. I'm at the beginning of day 2. And, yeah. Yeah, this is my first run, too. Going in pretty much completely blind, which, definitely makes things interesting. So what are we gonna do now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus.
The lieutenant closes his notebook.
I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us, real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Long live disco indeed. May disco reign forever.
Rent-a-cop. So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals.
Making me stretch. I always appreciate a good stretch. Okay. Me and Everett talked. He promised you'd cooperate.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Very mature, guys. Everett said word, right?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, Capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys. Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
Beverage. Oh, 17%, huh? Establish authority.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
Jim, I need your gun. I'm the only thing that's keeping this town from going to hell, and you're not helping. Point your finger.
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so goddamn special? Shitting yourself in front of us. Going around, harassing kids on the street. Kids who've done nothing wrong. All the while talking racist shit. Don't think we aren't watching, fascia. People here trust us. We're getting complaints.
I haven't said anything racist.
Of course you have. You've been calling people Kip left and right, inciting race violence in my town.
I haven't.
Callie said they've been trying to set up a race rally, whatever the fuck that means. Trying to get the kips out of Revachol before the economy goes to shit.
Ah, this is what I get for failing a check. It's a lie. There is no race rally.
Sure there is. Callie said they're bulk purchasing confetti, ribbons too, and loudspeakers, and fireworks. Callie works at the carnival shop, you see.
Get the fuck out of here, you racist carny. There'll be no race rally in my town.
What happened? We got absolutely wiped. Let's go before it gets worse.
What's going on? Are you racist now? Is the rally real? Please don't set up any rally. It'll make you look awful.
Okay, so that didn't go well. That didn't go so good. Talk to Joyce. The merc you hanged, his friends are coming for you.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Cronell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Snickering in the room, some of the men put their beers down. No, I'm not having much luck. This is a game about not having much luck. Yes, they're forming some kind of tribunal and they're coming for you.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Oh, feeding the robots some more. There aren't really any robots in this game as far as I know, but I'm sure the ones on Sunday will appreciate that.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
Oh, well, there's a murder machine apparently. Mercenaries are armed with automatic weapons.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
Will they pierce ceramic armor?
I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
See what? That they don't?
Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor.
Takes a sip of beer to bide his time, and then tries to get the last word in.
You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal.
Okay, conclude with a
What do you
shrug.
mean, okay.
Alright. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the bit. Have a good night. Have pleasant. Okay, they're going to wipe you the fuck out, Titus.
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy.
He really doesn't like you ruffling their feathers like that on what might be the eve of battle.
All he means is that the situation is serious.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
42%.
This time it's going to work. You already ruled out the first bad option that didn't.
That's it? That's all I got?
Did you already try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is excellent and has great results. You're probably right. The others are only there for filler, to make the gun thing pop.
First you tell me there's someone who's been assaulted and you don't say who. That's bullshit.
Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, alright? We took care of it. The law handled it, alright?
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
I guess we're both the law around here if you start to think about it.
No, asshole. You're nobody. I'm the law.
Stop yelling about the goddamn law in my establishment! We get it. You're all the law.
Let's just all cool off. We had some questions, that's all.
Going to take off now. Actually,
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grace?
The thought forms in your head, like a lightning strike branching in the sky. No, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant.
No, do the honor. You've earned it.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
Keep telling yourself that. I know for a fact this is it's disgusting. You're admitting to profiting off poisoning your own people.
Boo fucking who. People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy Boys here.
The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing. She runs the thing, right?
My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know?
58%.
You have so many bad options ruled out, it's insane. There is no way in the world you won't do it this time.
Kim, I'm only getting total garbage here. Please help.
You know what? You guys must be the cops. Because this is what cops do, right? Live in a bar, sit on their fat asses like they own the place, while the neighborhood goes to shit. Corpses hang from trees. Kids shoot up.
Hey, we don't have to fucking take this shit.
Glenn.
Everyone shut up!
Titus's loud baritone echoes from the mess hall the mess hall walls, and the entire cafeteria falls silent.
Fuck you, man. You didn't see the place before we got here.
Kim, help him.
Fucking graffito everywhere.
Thank you. Thank you for the donation. Kim, help me indeed. Kim's running this fucking show. Without him, I'd be lost. I'd be nothing without Kim.
Congratulations on the graffito removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
He picks the beer back up.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
It's not about who did it, it's about the victim. She needs help.
Titus?
He looks at her.
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her, but you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
What is her name?
The lieutenant takes out his notes.
Glacia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's I'm on due with an O-U.
Shit. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Oh, it's her! It's definitely her! It's Miss Oranje, disco dancer!
Okay. Yeah, composure. Clausier Amando. Cool.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, but no one notices. Your spine is too damn straight. None of these people would ever suspect you've met her.
Of course, I win that success, but not the more important one.
Whatever you do not tell him you know her. That would sound off.
What is your relationship with her?
I know her.
He looks around the room and an uncommon silence fills the room.
How well do you know her?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months.
He crosses his arms.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
So she's not from around here.
You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant. Or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
You said you'd partied. What do you mean?
What do you think I meant?
Sex, drugs, and karaoke?
Yes, and no. Got something to say about it?
So you're saying the two of you were close?
No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now.
What was her relationship with the mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
Thank you. We'll talk to her.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
I'm going to take off now.
The door is closed.
Knock.
Who is it?
A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up.
Pile of dirty clothes. A woman's. Hotel bill calculations. Looks like she's had an extended stay. Bed has been hastily made. Cold coffee in an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Is there a cleaning lady? I think I need one.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the Infernum.
I am Kim Kitsuragi. I am a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
How long do you think until the hard wears us down?
Oh, I've got a couple of good years left on my warranty.
She looks down at her body, shimmering in a silver jumpsuit.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
What's your name, miss, for the record?
Clausier Amondou.
And where are you from?
Vredefort, Republic of Oranje.
Wasn't the tattoo on the hanged man an Oranese map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head, then dissipates. Something for later.
Could we look at your passport, please?
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river.
Okay then.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
She takes a drag. What do you do, miss? What is your specialization?
Something stupid.
What's that?
Oranese lit.
Oranese lit?
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
She raises both eyebrows. What is Oranese literature about?
Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
Thank you. That's it for the record.
The record? So official.
Tells you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
Were you sexually assaulted, miss?
By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
She takes a quick drag, unperturbed.
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
It's not that early. I don't... And what does that mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I can't say that stuff about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
Titus asked you to spice things up for us?
Pretty much.
She cradles her coffee cup in both hands.
Warning, then.
What did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
Kaden, please stop. Kaden. Funny boy. Wait, partied. Where have I heard that before?
A lot of partying going on.
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
Kaden. Oh man. The silliest boy. This is the world's silliest cat. I don't get it. What do you mean, partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been hard for you, pointing to the yard, seeing him there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
The call reporting the hanging, that was you?
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
The caller's voice was disguised.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
Nicked it how?
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
You were right to suspect there might be foul play involved with the broken phone line.
And in the process, you broke the landline downstairs.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Don't mention it.
She must have had training of some kind.
Why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, you'd still be hanging there.
What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
Another puff, more nervous.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
She meant she sees him in her dreams.
Say nothing.
You pissed it all away. All of it. Elysium.
What did they hang him for, if not assault?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was... what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
How do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests. Downstairs, they have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now.
And how did you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Did you party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this. But have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Understood.
She sips her coffee. Birds circle overhead. Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
Could that have been why they lynched him? Jealousy?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's probably where they got the rape idea.
What do you mean?
Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
Thank you for telling us all of this, miss.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
As he says so, you feel the young woman looking at you and get a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. A suspicion? Wait a moment.
I had something else before we go. A little thing.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Nice room you've got here.
Yeah, it's pretty deluxe.
What are you doing here in the whirling in rags?
I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
Why here?
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol?
Here in Martinez.
I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go.
You're too young to call yourself a disco has-been.
I'm really not.
I had other questions for you.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, torn and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Or even is volition.
She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit.
What is happening?
Nothing. Just time passing. Don't worry. You are not a fool. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting.
Avert your eyes.
The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
Let's return to this later, miss.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
You shouldn't drink coffee that late. Smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra menthol.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Where's it coming from?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in a sentence, they sound weird together.
What are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rockstar politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish.
Got the wrong impression. I'm no superstar. I'm trash.
Yeah, a cool, trash superstar. Big dick cop down on his luck. Salam Rocky by here. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights.
No, fuck you.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
Think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Why did she tell us all of that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Something is off here.
You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Run your finger across the surface of the glass.
Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
This window was recently replaced.
Looks like it, yes.
Leave. Okay, I guess time to confront the Hardy Boys again.
It's you again. What is it?
Classy says she wasn't assaulted.
Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking
hit you. Done.
Titus Hardy.
Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot.
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody.
Everard, personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
The room is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. The rest of the cafeteria has gone quiet, too. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
So what's on this tape?
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why. Won't you listen to it?
Where did you get this?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
So you bugged them? How?
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
Which one of you is doing this advanced radio work then?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Chief picks his beer back up to offer a silent toast.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
That's enough for now. I'll get back to the investigation.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy.
Fine, I'll listen to it.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
I'm going to take off now.
You stare at the great door gunner Megamix. If only you had a boombox, you would be able to play Titus's tape. The tape feels ominous. Upon it, the dead speak. Respect the tape.
Okay. There's a tape player in my room that might still work.
The compact tape player is still and silent. Seems it has completely broken down now. There's no fixing this one.
This would have been very helpful with the Megamix, but it isn't anymore.
Yeah, any ideas?
My kinema only comes with the radio. We should try to find a new tape player. There's a pawn shop near the waterlock, south of here. Maybe they have a spare.
Okay. So to the pawn shop? I don't know of a pawn shop.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname.
Look closer first.
The faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sandstone.
Kim, look, bullet holes.
Where?
Point to the chips in the wall. Someone has been shot. We're cops. We should solve it.
There? Those are old.
What do you mean, old?
These bullets were fired during the Revolution, over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation.
Okay, what can you tell me about this revolution?
Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go?
Sure.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Vandalism.
Probably some kids.
Lieutenant inspects the rigged slot.
A simple but clever solution to ruining a coin-operated viewer. It took ingenuity.
Look inside.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onug, written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards.
Shift your focus to the background.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast, studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Poor little viewer.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Leave. Hell yeah. Okay, so where the fuck is this pawn shop? I only know of a bookstore. Bookstore that's remarkably unhelpful.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda. A map.
Yeah, I already did that. Thought there was a new check there, but...
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do.
Look through the display of books.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Oh god, no.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick Mullen.
Leave. Okay. The thing about this map is that it's not accurate even a little bit. And thus it is completely unhelpful. Arguably negative helpful.
Droplets of rain fall on the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage.
Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to?
There's something important? Something murder related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. Even at a standstill, the unibody Caprice Kanema looks sleek and dynamic. The cabin is tilted frontward to give it a more aggressive, hunched look. Someone has waxed it recently.
That machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
What's it packing there?
130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
That's what? A 7-liter V12?
7.2. Supercharged.
Lieutenant is trying to suppress a smug smile, unsuccessfully.
Saying these words brings him immense joy.
Fine machine.
Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Slam it down. It's a bit girly right now. Fit it with some proper off-road components.
No, I think it's good as is. Enough about the details.
Anything else?
Let's move. Oh wow, I didn't realize you could zoom out that far.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
I think you might be able to help me decipher some tattoos.
Don't think so.
Continue.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea.
We're investigating a murder. These tattoos were on the victim's body.
Silence. He takes the photo. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving, hard as a stone. But beneath it, you see dead flesh in colorful rivers of polychrome, melting skin and hair.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
Loincloths?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the tattoo means?
What it means.
He points to one tiny star in a web of lines, away from the man's heart, almost on his stomach.
I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here?
Yes.
Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Benital, 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission. He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kept villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
He licks his lips as if drunk suddenly.
With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
Actually, no. You knew him, right?
What's the matter, militiaman? No stomach for it? This man was worth 1,000 loincloths. We're done talking here.
I think we should maybe even get going now.
There is absolutely no need to push this any further.
I'm going to leave now. Okay. So that didn't help. So got a minute?
I, saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
Sorry, man, I can't disclose the facts of an official investigation to you.
It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
Last thing we need is more civilians involved.
Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
What's the plan with those rhymes, anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
Why Tommy Laham?
Tommy Lahm was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
It's more him.
Good luck with that, Tommy. Gotta run.
Yeah, you too. Be safe, detective.
Okay.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
I need to exchange this novelty check for cash.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the Union, sir.
She rolls up the giant novelty check. Looks like she's seen it before and slips it under the counter.
Anything else I can do for you?
That was easy. Worryingly so.
Leave. Okay. I have no idea what to do now. I'd love to listen to it, but the pawn shop doesn't exist. How can I listen to a thing at a pawn shop that doesn't exist? Is this it? Is this the pawn shop? Am I just stupid? Yes, I'm stupid, obviously.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
The pawn shop doesn't exist, I say, walking into the pawn shop. The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Now that the RCM is here, tell me, have you had any trouble lately?
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadow on the wall behind you.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe.
Is Roy high, and if yes, what is he on?
Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. A guarded man like him wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud.
By the way, do you happen to have any guns, like the ones carried by the officers of the Citizens Militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
Wait, I sold you my gun?
You,
With Kim here too. That just sounded really, really bad.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
I feel like there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer.
What was I like?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
Very normal behavior. You must have been in great shape.
I'm so sorry you had to see me in that state. We don't have to talk about it any further.
No apologies necessary, officer.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
I'm sorry I sold my gun.
Yeah, it's not good. I do hope we manage to clean this mess up somehow, while also keeping our focus on the murder investigation.
This mess? He means your mess.
Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everard wasn't lying, and the Union can track her down in time.
Have people from Everett Clare's union come to track that gun?
Maybe. Shady looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it. They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here, asking for all sorts of things.
Wait, then it might be true. Everard's claims.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
Looking for something that plays a tape for police business.
A tape? We have boom boxes for sale that will play it. Check the shelves.
Something I'd like to sell?
Let me have a look.
I'll check my pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Oh, I'll keep all that. Don't have anything else to sell at the
Another
moment.
time, perhaps.
I have other business to take care of now.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Wait, there are couple types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
Sorry, cop? I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Yes, sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then. Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
Okay, what are the other Kappa types?
Oh, you know. Apocalypse, Superstellar, the Advanced Interesting Cop, Liquid Shadow Cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go.
Won't the other Kappa types be jealous?
What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine. Don't worry. They'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual Copo type from sorry to anything.
I'm sorry.
Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. That won't happen.
Good. -2 authority. Dark film projector is whirring away. Bust of a woman. Plaque simply says day.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy.
Dig up and find a truly cool figurine in the box under the table.
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
What's this?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head.
He points to the decapitated figurine.
50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
No, thank you.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Stand on the tips of your toes to see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Are you sure this is all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music.
Can I just play a tape on one of those boomboxes real quick?
Sorry, man. I can't be giving out freebies. Never have, won't now.
Shopkeep, this Stereo 8 approved machine here.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel format, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Can I get a discount on this boombox? A police discount?
A discount? I do have to keep the lights on, man. It's 12 real.
Remember, he doesn't like music. He likes sounds. The Doorgunner Megamix is his type of tape. Certainly, he'd give you a discount if he knew you'd play something so experimental. Careful, you can only do this once.
How does 10 real sound?
Sounds like a rip-off, but okay. I can make it 10, but no lower.
Thanks for the discount, man. Here's the money for the boombox.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Is that a streetlight?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
Where did you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property.
He leans in so the pawnbroker doesn't hear him.
You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
He pauses, studying the light. Let your gaze run over the streetlight.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
There's nothing else I need to know about the light. Mostly military wear, with a few more eccentric fashions thrown in.
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb.
Oh yeah?
The print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hyundal burning.
Let go of the t-shirt. Some kind of machine? An antique cash register? Okay. Let's go back to the room to listen to the tape. Because I feel like just listening to that anywhere will be bad. Whereas listening to it in relative privacy should be fine?
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
Play the tape.
You push Command Set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
Another loud screech, some kind of machinery.
The harbor. That's the sound of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally.
Mood.
I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
A click, then silence. The rest of the tape is empty.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
What do you think?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
I agree. He also sounded inebriated.
Still.
The lieutenant looks at the tape. You are familiar with this look now. It's his look of suspicion.
There's more going on here than we know.
Who's this Cordy?
One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A friend of his?
What's Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
Think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
Okay. What now?
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's a Friday night. The contrast feels chilly, inappropriate even.
Yard below. The corpse is no longer there. Get him out of the way, please. Look, a handful of dried white wildflowers.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air.
Move your hand fast.
You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a maybell. The young
Okay.
woman looks at the maybell in your hand, just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
Oh shit, who do I finger pistols at? At the young woman.
Your 9mm semi-automatic finger pistols make 2 satisfying snaps. Strange for such a small caliber of finger pistol to sound so chunky. The flower in your hand is impressed. So is she. That's not actually true. She's looking toward the yard and doesn't notice them, which is probably for the best. Because didn't someone mention she's a rape victim?
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit assault.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via the encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
She picks the cup back up.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Kohoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Do you think he was trying to scare people?
No. I'm pretty sure he did all those things. And then had to internalize them to keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Coping mechanism?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezud all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
Weren't you afraid?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? In Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
What is this wildflower?
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style?
What's sambo?
A martial art, sir. Is that it?
Samurai boxing, or sambo, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth and cool.
Yes, why was it that?
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Or an admirer?
Any admirers, miss?
Admirers? I'm too old to be a debutante. And this place is no fashionable society.
Now that you've had some time, can you tell us about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start.
The lieutenant writes it down in his notebook.
We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
How old was he, miss?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no.
The memory makes her smile.
We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
We were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up.
The lieutenant makes a correction in his notes.
A miss.
His eye color?
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
He had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
It was an Ringy's map of waterways.
Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
Showing off to chicks? How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Oranese lit?
Don't interrupt.
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You were the woman in this?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us precisely what these mean?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
She pours herself some more coffee.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Semenine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Change of topic, perhaps?
She looks over her shoulder to the sea, then back at you, smiling faintly. Where's Lelisat? The place, I mean.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
You were both from Oranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right.
The lieutenant puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Let's return to this later, miss.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
That's what she said, yes.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old?
Where is this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
I got this. My age, I think I'm...
Yes?
I'm in my early 30s. A rough 30. I lived it up.
You're a rough rider, but not in your early 30s. Do you want to know the truth?
Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
Date of birth generator. Lost my cursor for a second there. Okay. Hey guy, anything new to say?
What is it?
Listen to your tape. So I talked to Classier about the tape.
And?
He tenses immediately. Chest tightens. Jaw sets. Ready for another blow.
And nothing. She stands by what she said.
That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
Gold? It was locker room talk. It's not evidence.
Locker room talk. What are you, fucking brain dead? I've been to plenty of locker rooms. They don't plan rapes there. What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
Did not come as a surprise to her, and she definitely wasn't scared.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore.
Fucked up, man.
Oh, fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
Her voice is a bit softer than earlier.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawmen?
Maybe she isn't who you thought she was.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
She's not a helpless girl. She handled the mercenary well enough.
Handled him? She got into some stupid shit with that guy. Shit we had to take care of.
Yes, we heard all about it, and the fact still stands. You were more disturbed by the tape than her.
Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. He can't keep track of all the variables anymore.
Come on, Titus. The stakes are too high here. There will be blood on the streets. The tribunal, remember. I know you're tired. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you, them, and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck off!"
He throws his beer can down.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over. Yeah.
There's a silence in the room. Elaine starts saying something and thinks best not to.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated.
Clausia is...
Oh, damn it!
Tell them how bad they got played, and they'll tell you the truth. There are many ways to go about it. All of them really good.
You guys are always telling me they're good, and then they aren't.
Those are the other guys. My shit is solid gold. You can trust me.
Okay, but please, I can't afford to fail now. I've come too far.
That's right. Titus is ready to break. You've come too far not to trust me now, pussy boy. Pussy boy? What the hell is going on here? That doesn't sound trustworthy at all.
I was told this game was about failing forward. And it seems like it's more about just failing, but it's kind of funny when you fail. Which isn't the same thing as failing forward. Okay, man, it's clear you're being played like a fiddle.
No, we fucking ain't, asshole. No one's fiddling anyone in here.
No, Glenn. I want to hear this. Who do you think is fucking fiddling me?
Promised there would be good options. Where are they?
Oh, you want more good options? Here we go. So good.
Form a dramatic finale on the imaginary fiddle. The hunter becomes the hunter.
The hunter becomes the hunter? A little tip for you, cop. The next time you try to fuck with someone's head, make sure you're not fucked there yourself.
I don't understand what happened. Why did you say that? I didn't tell you to say that. Put the fiddle down and never go off script like that again.
Skill cap reached. Oh, I didn't realize that was a thing. Going to take off now. The whole story? I'd love to, but I failed that check. Fuck it.
It's you
I'll
again.
save Scum.
What is it?
Just this once.
And
he tenses immediately. Chest tight.
That fucking locker room. What did she have to say then?
Yes. In fact,
funny.
Please try to
This is just perfect. Nah. I know her. Handled him.
Yes. We heard all about it. And the fact still...
I already told you.
There's less gusto in his voice now. The man is slowing.
Come on, Titus.
You know what? Next time, yeah.
On the floor.
What is? How do we make it? 100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
One of his boys will.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility.
That's it then. Case closed. Look around. We're going home, Kim.
Huh?
The lieutenant raises his brow.
He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they kill you just because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Because of some chick.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the Wild North.
Club you from behind, string you up, go back to drinking.
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We didn't hit him, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him.
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
Does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control. Let them have their moment.
The room falls quiet, so quiet you can hear Angus wheeze.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
She walks off without looking back.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it?
We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see.
The coroner and his assistant are wrapped in blue. Hands covered in blue gloves. Mouths covered by blue masks. Bodies by blue aprons. The coroner wipes his brow, scalpel still in his hand. Get the light. Shine it in his mouth. He tells his assistant. The coroner squats to better see the light illumines the darkness inside. Well, shit. Can't blame them for missing that. Get the saw, Alan. This just got fun.
Why?
Because the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural. There's another girl. 2 of them. Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
The rat-faced man snickers.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. You keep taking it easy too, Angus.
He turns back to you. What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they've been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs? The 8th Hardy?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
So who killed the Merc then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
She's got one of those checkered pasts. The shot could have missed. Could have been meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns. Training. Years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
He pauses to think.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again.
Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the 2 girls? He may be talking about the other one.
Earlier you said the girls asked for your help. Was this the other girl?
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker, the missing 8th Hardy.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head.
A little too far there, but you're definitely right.
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Understood. Can you tell me anything about her? Name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to.
If Klasia didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
The can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the Morlintern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go, Klasia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
you would still prefer if we didn't take her away.
that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. Okay. I'm glad I did that. Because if I hadn't saved Scum, I legitimately don't know what I would have done. But alright, I'm thinking let's call it here. Because we have done some stuff. We've accomplished some things. And gotten stuff done. And learned things. And learning is power. Or something. So, let's see if there's anyone to raid. Looks like Pank is playing something with crab battles. So let's raid over there. So thank you for watching, y'all. I love you very much. I'll see you next time. Remember, Black Lives Matter, defund the police. And let's get the raid rolling.